actually don't know what I got on my SAT. I'm texting my roommate because she knows my SAT score and I don't. Hi, I want to start this off with like an apology, and more so to myself because I know there's not a lot of people to watch my videos, but I haven't posted in a while, and that's mostly because I've been taking a break from like Instagram and YouTube for a little bit, not really TikTok, but I just kind of took some time to like disconnect and focus on school because I was doing summer classes. But I did take that time and I recorded multiple videos that are all kind of in the editing process right now. So when you're watching this go live, I'm currently working on 4 different videos that I am editing that I filmed during the time that I didn't post. So hopefully I'll have a bunch of content and I'll be able to post more regularly. So yeah, thanks if you're watching this video and I hope you like it. Hi, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're doing something a little different, and I say that in every video because none of my videos have any correlation to each other, and that's okay. I think we're just gonna learn to accept it and deal with it. But a new series that I kind of just decided that I really wanted to start was a series about college, because college application season is coming up, and it's coming up hot in the middle of a pandemic. So I know it was hard for me 2 years ago, so it must be fucking terrifying right now. I genuinely feel for you if you are an upcoming senior. But if you didn't know, I just finished up my first year at UC Berkeley and I absolutely love it there. It is my favorite place. However, I do want to try to make this series about college in general and the college application process in general. I want to make this series the most helpful for the most amount of people. I can talk about all the schools I applied to, the ones I got into, the ones I got rejected from. I can read you my essays. We'll go through all the things. And I might just do one specific episode about questions specifically about Berkeley, because that might make it easier. And you guys asked me questions. Thank you for that. I have so many good questions and I'm really excited about them. So hopefully I can answer them in a, helpful way. But if I can't, I will try my hardest to direct you to someone or some website that can actually help you out. So yeah, the things we're going to cover today are basically just stats, extracurriculars, and essays. I'm not going to like read my essays or anything. I can go much more in depth in another video, but this is just sort of like the basics of how I think I got into Berkeley with my stats and my extracurriculars and all that stuff. Okay. I might start up like an essay editing business soonish. So if anybody is interested in that, I know a lot of people that watch my videos are juniors and seniors in high school. I promise it's not going to be super expensive or anything, but if you're interested, that is something I might do. I could also just help you brainstorm, do all the stuff. I love essays, but we'll get to that in a second. Without further ado, let's get into the questions. So the first question, and the one I expected the most honestly, was what were my stats? And if you don't know, by stats, I mean SAT score, GPA, grades, the numbers. I'm pretty sure that my GPA was a 4.35. My GPA was a weighted 4.35 and an unweighted 3.89. And my SAT score, shout out to my roommate from college for telling me my SAT score, my SAT score was a 1330, which isn't great. I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad. It's just not great. If you get ranked, if you get class ranks, you're supposed to put that in too. And I think I got ranked 4th in the class. I'm not sure. It was a small school. We were 70 people. And I also took 2 SAT subject tests. I took US history and Spanish. So I got an 800 in Spanish, and that is I would say it's my like proudest achievement because it's the best I've ever done on like standardized testing. I'm not very good at standardized testing. So I got an 800 on that, but Spanish is my first language, so I don't think that should have counted, but still. And on the US history, I think I got a 680. I'm pretty sure I got a 680. Which isn't amazing, but it was there. So the next question is, how did you study for the SAT? I don't know. I can tell you, I went to SAT study sessions that were held at my school, that were held by my English teacher and my math teacher. I'm not sure how long. I'm pretty sure it was just like a month leading up to one SAT. So I did SAT prep and I had so many books. I had like practice test books and I had the learning books, and I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think it's a good idea for you to study how I studied for the SAT. The way I studied was just trying to learn all the math. Because English was fine. I was always good at English and I could just kind of like do that no problem. But I was really bad at math and I couldn't remember like basic algebra. I got a tutor, and this all sounds like super like fucking bratty and privileged, but the tutor was my friend. He was on my robotics team and he is the sweetest human and has the most patience in the entire world. He was kind enough to come and tutor me and basically just teach me math from scratch. So I did that. He would come at least once a week and I would just do math practice tests like an insane person. And I'm not gonna lie, it got stupidly frustrating seeing myself get the same score over and over again. And a big thing that I had with the SAT is my score wouldn't go up all that much, and if it did, it was because of my English score. It was never because of my math score. My math score basically stayed the same throughout every single time I took it. It's so frustrating because you feel like you put so much work into it and it's just not, you're getting no results. But to anybody who feels like that, I would definitely say that your standardized test score does not define you whatsoever, and your standardized test score is not going to be the reason you get into college. If you're not doing that great, that's okay. Something else will be the reason that you get into college, and that's fine. You don't need to get a 1400 or 1500 to like get into college, and I know some colleges right now aren't even requiring an SAT, which is great. Okay, so somebody else asked, how many times do you think it's reasonable to take the SAT? And what I did is very contradictory to my answer, but I took it 4 times. I think 4 times should definitely be your max. You shouldn't take it more than 4 times because I'm pretty sure you're gonna lose it. 4 times is like a lot. But I think optimally 2 or 3 times. I think 2 or 3 times would be the best. I know some people where their last SAT was lower and that was also really frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks. It really sucks. It definitely sucks. The SAT is not fun unless you really love math and testing for some reason, but it's tiring, it's frustrating, and I think the best way to get through it is to just put your full energy on preparing and not like leaving it till the last minute, and just remembering that once you're done with the SAT, you're never gonna have to do it again. Oh, also, okay, somebody asked about the difference between the SAT and the ACT, and in reality, I have no idea. I didn't take the ACT. At our school, we aren't really encouraged to take the ACT, we're encouraged to take the SAT, but I know you can find all the differences online. I can link that down below. I can link an article about the differences between the SAT and the ACT. This is actually really good. Somebody asked, is a tutor necessary to study for the SAT? And I would say no. For me, it was necessary, specifically just in regards to math, but I definitely think that if you're good at time management and you are able to like do practice on Khan Academy or practice on a couple SAT prep books, you can do that. And then like at least once a week take a practice test, or at least when it gets closer, at least every other day take a practice test. Honestly, I think the most helpful part for me was definitely taking practice tests. That is the most important part because you can study all you want, but the way the questions are structured on the SAT is so specific, and you have to learn how those kinds of questions work. So I would say practice test, practice test, practice test. That was my savior specifically. It was just what helped me feel a lot less nervous, and I think it's what definitely helped a lot of people improve their score. Somebody asked, how much do you think standardized testing actually matters? And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say if you have a strong resume, that standardized testing doesn't matter. If you want to go to like a specific school, I genuinely think that if you stand out in one area, you're good. Like if you either have a very high SAT score or a very like high GPA, an impressive course load, or you have very good like extracurriculars and leadership positions, or if you were super active in service, or if you worked 3 jobs, or if you started your own business. If you stand out in one thing, I genuinely think that that is enough, and standardized testing won't matter. But there's no formula to get into college. I think the best you can do is just fully and authentically be yourself throughout the entire college application process, and a school will see you for who you are and know that you will be a good and integral part in the campus and that you will fit in. Somebody said, what did you do in high school when it comes to clubs and extracurriculars? If you knew me in high school, you knew that I was that bitch that was in everything. I joined so many clubs and I did so much shit. So let me give you a rundown. So I did cheerleading from freshman year to senior year. I was a junior captain my junior year and a captain my senior year. I did soccer. I didn't play. I was just on the team for like a while, but I wasn't good. I did soccer freshman year through junior year. I did mock trial sophomore year through senior year, and I was captain my senior year. I did CLAP, which was the Hispanic Literature Theater Club, basically. It stands for Club de Literatura Abriendo Puertas, which literally translates to the Club of Literature Opening Doors. I did that from sophomore year through senior year, and I was kind of like the dance captain, I guess, for that, because I didn't act. I only danced, but that I did that. I did robotics outside of my high school from sophomore year until senior year, and I was business captain my senior year, or like I was a business leader senior year. I was on the WAS committee, which was kind of like the school accreditation committee my senior year. The dance in my high school was called Queen of Hearts, so I was on the Queen of Hearts committee my senior year and basically planned the entire dance with my best friends. That was really fun. So yeah, that's the basic rundown of what I did in high school. I'm pretty sure that's all I did. I think what like set me apart in that regards was that I was genuinely very passionate about all of them, except soccer. I really was not passionate about soccer. Like, I really loved the girls on the team. I just was really bad at the sport. But everything else I was very passionate about, and I really devoted as much time as humanly possible. I think having more than one position of leadership kind of like helped me out in that sense. Somebody asked, how important are clubs and extracurriculars? And again, I genuinely think that it's important to stand out in one thing. I think that was my thing. I didn't get the best grades and I didn't get the best SAT score, so that was kind of where I came in. Here's an interesting question. Is it real that being active in sports and clubs is better than having a perfect SAT score? I think it's like, it has to be one or the other. You either have to be like really well-rounded or stand out incredibly in one thing. I think, and again, that doesn't mean that if you're not going to get into college. It doesn't mean anything. This is just what I think and what I've seen, okay? Because I know a lot of people that had like perfect grades and a perfect SAT but were in 0 clubs, and I know a lot of people that had average grades and average SAT but were like the captain of fucking everything. So it really depends, and again, I'm not saying that's the only way. College is weird, okay? That's basically it. So somebody asked, I think this is really interesting, what do you consider to be the most significant extracurriculars? I don't think there is a most significant extracurriculars. For me, I know it was definitely cheerleading, mock trial, and robotics, because those were the 3 that I was super, super passionate about, did for the longest, and had leadership positions in. But I think that's the key. It's being really passionate about something. I genuinely think that it could be anything. But if you're very passionate about it, and if you get to do some sort of leadership position, it's going to kind of like give you that extra step. That's what I think. Okay, so that's basically it for extracurriculars. That's all I'm gonna go through for extracurriculars, but we're going to get into kind of the last bit of this, which is essays. So essays are personally my favorite part of college applications. I started writing my essays the summer before my senior year, so I had my first essay done around July of the summer before my senior year. Take that with a grain of salt. I know friends that wrote them like a week before and got into like the same schools as me, so it genuinely doesn't matter when you start. Like, don't give the essays less importance than the SAT, because the SAT is a number and a lot of people may have the same number as you, but the essays are you. They reflect who you are as a person if you do them right. If you do them correctly, if you do them authentically, they reflect who you are as a person and what you can actually bring to a college campus. So if it's something particular about you, if it's something very specific to you and genuinely yourself, you will stand out. It will stand out because it's you, and the admissions officers, I think, will know that. They will see that you will be a good fit for their school and they will let you in. Okay, so somebody asked how to brainstorm for college essays. And for me, it was literally going on my notes app, writing down every single prompt for every single essay that I had to do, and writing 10 ideas for each one. Genuinely, I had so many. I rewrote my essays crazy amounts of times. By looking at the ideas and starting to plan out your essays, the ones that you are literally unable to write will be the ones that you're gonna end up deleting, and those are not gonna be the ones that you're actually gonna use. So that's what I would say for brainstorming. Also, if you need help brainstorming, text me. I will help you. Okay, somebody asked, what do you think admissions officers look for in essays? Okay, and I think there's three parts to this answer. One, for you to answer the actual prompt. So like, don't go off and tell a completely different story that doesn't actually answer the prompt. Number two, sort of a unique story. I know like there are stories that a lot of people have, and that's totally fine, but just a story told your way uniquely, I think that's really important. And third is just to be yourself, genuinely, authentically be yourself, and like kind of like speak from the heart. I think it's really obvious when you're trying to be someone else or to write like someone you're not, because there's a difference between taking your words and refining them and making them like more grammatically correct and coherent, and like completely changing up your writing style and kind of portraying somebody who you're not. There's a difference. So yeah. Somebody asked, what was my essay about? And I will do a video specifically on my essays. So I'll tell you about my UC essays first. My UC essays, the first one was about creativity. The prompt was about creativity and how I express my creativity. And I wrote it about Instagram and filming. Hi! So I basically just wrote it about how the little free time that I did have in high school, I basically used it to make my Instagram aesthetically pleasing and all the effort I put into my Instagram. Oh, the second one was about leadership, about an experience of leadership that I had. And I wrote it about mock trial. I also really liked that. I liked all my essays. They're cringy, but I like them. I wrote it about mock trial, and I wrote it about how I didn't know how to be a leader until I had to be a leader for someone else. My third essay was about an educational experience, and I wrote about robotics and the opportunity that I had to realize that I did have a love and a passion for STEM. It just wasn't in the way that I thought it would be, and I was applying as a psychology major, so it's like a social science. And my last and favorite essay was what is a special talent or skill that you have? I'm pretty sure that was the prompt. And I wrote about how a BuzzFeed quiz told me I was a hot dog bun. I basically just talked about how I took a BuzzFeed quiz and it told me that I was a hot dog bun because I was very dependable and responsible. I really liked them. I genuinely enjoyed writing them, and I will do a whole video on essays where I read them. So yeah. Here's the thing about the Common App. The prompts are so broad, but I genuinely think I did. Okay, here's the thing. I tried to be really funny in my essays because I think I'm funny, but I mean, it worked. I got into college, so the prompt was like something that you had to overcome. And I wrote about the shitty ass car that I had in high school, and that sounds really stupid when I say it out loud because I had a car in high school. Well, it wasn't mine, but I had a car in high school, and oh god, if anybody went to high school with me, you guys know my car was an issue. It was a whole ass thing. It would break down all the time. It had so many issues, and I basically wrote about how having such a clusterfuck of a car taught me to be more organized and prepared and manage my time. It was funny, okay? The lighting was really bad, so I added my phone. Does that look okay? Does that look okay? Okay, so I think that's it for this episode of my college series of how I think I got into Berkeley, but it was fun. I had fun talking about it. I always like talking about college. Thank you if you made it all the way through. I hope this was helpful. I genuinely think this could actually be helpful to someone, so if it was, let me know in the comments down below or DM me. Give this video a thumbs up, just cause you're nice. Subscribe if you liked this video, and subscribe if you didn't. You never know, you could like the next video I put out. Follow me on all my social medias. I'm at bellyvmtz everywhere. That's BELLYVMTZ. You can follow me on Instagram at bellyvmtz, on TikTok at bellyvmtz, and on Twitter, which I now recently just started using, at bellyvmtz. So yeah, follow me on there. It's a lot of fun. That's it for this video. Until next week, have a nice day.